Hi everyone. Today I am creating using memorabilia that I have collected for a long time. These are things from my family, and the reason I'm doing this, well, there's a challenge in my year 2017. It's a month-long challenge. It's a Facebook group, and what they are doing is creating by remembering their loved ones, and I am doing the same. I have pulled out a bunch of ephemera. These things are old photographs and papers and letters and things that I have for a long time. Many of these are from my grandmother and, her mother and grandmother and my mother, and I'm just kind of sorting through the pile, trying to see what's here, what I want to use. I've got enough to do multiple books with this stuff. So what I have is a page that has been painted, and the paint I'm using is Deco Art. It's a chalk finish paint, and I'm using a couple of different colors, and this is just laying in the base coat for the background. I wanted a dark color because I'm going to then apply weathered wood on top of that, and this gives a wonderful crackle finish. So I'm just base coating with the weathered wood. I will dry that off, and then I will add an additional layer of paint. For this layer, I'm going to use Traditions. This is a craft paint from Deco Art, and just paint that on. And you don't want to put very much of this down or work the paint too much, because the crackle starts happening right away. So I'm trying to give you a shot of the crackle happening at the moment. Not sure that this is going to come across in a video, but I'm just trying to dry it off a little bit, and then I'm going to apply some more color to that background to make it look a little more antique. I have some archival inks and some other paints, and I'm just going to apply those to the background. Oh, and I'm starting to pick some of the ephemera that's going to go onto the page. So that's about it. These are photographs and things of my grandmother, Ethel, and this is what I have to share. So I'm going to use some papers. I believe these are from a Tim Holtz pack. It's an older pack, and I'm just going to distress those papers and use some old lace and the photographs from my grandmother that I've actually scanned and put in on, not put in on, but printed on some regular printing paper so that I can glue them down and not have a worry about what is going to happen to them, because I want to keep the originals in the form in which they came in. I may need to share those in the future with other family members. So here I go with the archival ink, just giving it that antique look. This is, I think, a branch something or other. Archival. What is the name of that stuff? Tree branch. Yeah, that's what it is, tree branch. And then I also have some blue Americana paint that I'm going to use. It's a real soft blue. I like the combo. The soft blue and the brown makes it look very antique, and I'm enjoying that about the background. I have these old, let me tell you how old they are, old K & Company rub-ons, but I thought, I'm trying to use up my stash, folks. I'm trying to use up all that stuff that we store forever and ever, and so I pulled these out because it looked like old lace, and I thought, well, yeah, that'd be appropriate on Grandma's page, so I'm going to put this lacy looking stuff down, and I'm finding that the rub-on is really kind of hard to rub on. Might be why they were still sitting in the box. K & Company's been out of business for a long time. I think they were bought up by EK. So I'm going to grab some Deco page from Deco Art. It's a matte finish glue sealer that I'm using to put this stuff on the page with, and just starting to layer my things in a collage fashion. I'm distressing the edges of the papers that I'm putting down. I'm sanding them and using a little rotary, I don't know what you call this stuff. It's what they used to mark patterns with when we were sewing when I was a kid. We used this with some carbon paper and marked things on our fabric with it. And I don't even know the name of the tool, but it's old. It's old because it probably came from my mother's stash of stuff. So anyway, isn't she sweet? Yeah, these are photos of Grandma and company, and you know, it just looks like they had the real charmed life. I love the big hats and the, you know, boating outings, but that was what they did. You know, Grandma would tell me about how they would tour. You know, in the summer they would tour. They would get in their open cars and they would go to the lake, and that's how they spent their time. So I have this piece of paper. It's written in my mother's hand, and it's talking about Grandma and the other relatives, Harriet, her mother, and Orville, her father, and, you know, dates and things. And I thought, well, I'm going to put that on the page. Very appropriate. I'm kind of running out of space on the page. I'm looking at other things like my mother's commencement ceremony things and, you know, a number of different things. And I thought, well, I'll just put a few embellishments down here. I've still got a bunch of this K & Company stuff I need to use, and I'll call that good. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you want to do your own page, and we'll see you again later.